Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 4 of the Bodhi Bros. I am John with a J.
And I'm Bodhi Ray.
And today we're going to pull some cards again because we love pulling cards. We have Ray and I, admittingly, a card fetish of sorts. We have tons of decks, and there's never enough decks. We keep adding to our decks. Hey, send us some decks if you have an old deck or a new deck or just a deck that you want us to utilize and you want to gift to us. We would love to receive that deck. Get deck.
Receive that deck.
What did I say? Wow, what a weird slip up there. We would love to receive that deck. Okay, and stop. We don't do any takes or edits, so the episode is what it is. And here we go. Wow, it's gonna be a good one, Ray. Woo! Look how red you are, man. You're as red as the red behind you on that tapestry. Is he eating pizza? What's happening behind you?
That's Hanuman, and I believe in the Ramayana. He takes, I think it's, I don't know specifically. I think it's Sri Lanka, and I think he picks it up and he moves it.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the story when he rescues Sita from Ravanus, I think is a demon's name. I forget, but he rescues Ram's wife and brings her back.
Got it.
He does.
Cool. So we're gonna pull some cards from some decks, and we are going to cover 2 topics today instead of 3. We're gonna make a little condensed version of the normal Bodhi Bros that lasts about an hour. We're gonna try and knock this out in 30 minutes. And the 2 topics today are going to be shadow, and the second one's going to be, what's the second one, right?
Yeah, second one's going to be sort of a general overall. This is going to be one that you could kind of make yourself. So if you have a specific question in mind, pertaining to either maybe career, relationship, there's something going on in your life, or maybe something going on in someone else's life, or this could be just a general for the world.
Should I buy this car? Should I get this pet monkey? Yes, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or something for the world, like you said too. That's kind of cool. A global inquiry of sorts. I like that.
Right.
It's neat. All right, and we're going to start off with a shadow. Do you want to explain that, Ray? What that means? What our intention is for this particular?
So the shadow is what you don't see about yourself or a particular situation going on. This could be something in your subconscious, something that comes up that may be triggered.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice, and it's always kind of nice to know what you don't know about something.
So what you don't know, and this is probably something that you don't know. And I guess you could take this particular reading and apply it to a specific question yet again, right? You could make it, or category. You can make it about your career or relationship. So before Ray and I pull cards, and again, Ray's going to pull from one deck, I'm going to pull from another deck, and you could choose Ray before we get started, or you could choose John with a J over here on this side, depending on who you're feeling pulled toward. You could choose us both. Maybe you have 2 different questions about the shadow. Maybe you just want 2 general readings about shadow. You don't have any question. You just want to know what you don't know. Because you don't know what you want to ask about. That's great too.
One could be maybe pertain to you, and then one could pertain to the overall global consciousness shadow too.
There we go. All right. So
you're only limited by your imagination.
I love that. So are we going to reveal these decks again like we did last time?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Okay. It's not a surprise. In future episodes, we're planning some surprises for you guys. So we'll see.
So this one, I'm going to go for the tot.
And I have the Inner Child cards. A Fairy Tale Tarot. Bum, bum, bum.
These were made by Mr. Crowley. Dun, 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 dun.
These were made by Isha Lerner and Mark Lerner. Sounds like a couple. Illustrated by Christopher Guilfoyle. Hopefully I said Christopher's last name right. Bang! There's what the cards look like on the back.
It's mine.
Okay. Won't tell you what that card was, but we'll see if it comes up after I shuffle. Dun 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Rocking and rolling. Okay, and rolling. All right.
Now me, I'm gonna have to look mine up on my phone.
Take your time, man. I'm connecting to the shadow universe. Shadow. Come in, shadow. But we don't know. We don't know. Now, whether you stumble upon this reading 3 days from now, 3 weeks, or 3 years, these are your cards or your card. If you pick me, these sunshiny, happy cards, like lightning bolts coming out of them. Remember that theme. Yeah, it's your message. It's what it is. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Stick it out. That's going to be the card. All right. And
You mean reveal?
You want to reveal?
I'll reveal.
Okay.
It is Ruin, Ruin, which is on here the 10 of Swords in the top deck. So I'll give the reading. With the 10 of Swords, the development of human intellect has consequently reached its last step, from birth of intellect within the ace to complete ruin within the ground of the 10. The card teaches the lesson that endless fighting ends with destruction, endless analysis with the complete loss of hope and belief. It forces the lesson of the 9 of Swords to its inevitable conclusion. But with the sun above it, it does not lack every hope. It will silently return to its origin again, to the first spark of mind in the ace, to start all over again. The big hope in here is that the lessons from the journey will be absolved, that the journey absolved, the lessons won't be forgotten. By the way, every 10 in the minor arcana stands for the end of a process, for the need to restart, or at least variant. Only the 10 of Swords has amazingly crude way to put it into words. That's just the way it is. So it says the drive is transformation. It says the shadow aspect of it is loss, destruction, separation, pain, catastrophe. The light of it is rebirth, realization, end of a cycle, wisdom through pain and loss.
So can you read the shadow again, since that's what we're...
Loss, destruction, separation, pain, catastrophe. Not a good card, but sometimes, it's something that you're not seeing. So it seems like it deals a lot with learning the lessons through pain and suffering. So, and it says this is the end of a cycle, but it's sort of a painful end. And I think it deals with, I would say, remember the lessons that you learned through your pain, and make that and that converts into wisdom. So you may need the wisdom from maybe a past prior experience that will kind of help you get through whatever you're going to be going through. So you may have to rely on this wisdom from other catastrophes, other painful experiences. So maybe you don't repeat the same cycle again.
Yeah, I also heard in there, as you were reading over, analyzing things, you touched on that. And maybe, I mean, this is just what came to me, an over analysis of things, and maybe in this case, pain or what you went through, and just stopping and allowing all of it to be what it is, and maybe just being with the pain and being present with the pain, not trying to analyze it, or the loss or the destruction, whatever is coming to you, whatever you feel, whatever you feel. when you feel into this particular reading or this card or this idea of what you don't know, you don't know. And that's the thing. You just kind of have to take what Ray read and how the card feels to you and what that triggers maybe somatically inside, and then trace that physical feeling and see maybe what comes up for you. I don't know. Or emotionally, it doesn't have to be physically, and go through whatever processes that you put yourself through, or get some support to help you through that process. But just not analyzing it anymore, but just allowing, pushing it away, not trying to turn it into something else, but allowing that pain to be what it is, and connecting with it and learning from it on a deeper level, because you're just letting it talk to you. Oh,
Yeah, that's very good. I like that. I like that was a good analysis of it.
all right. You got anything else on that one?
No, I think we hit that one.
All right. Surprise! Say hello, for those of you folks that chose John with the J side of the equation, to your fairy godmother. Boom, there's your card. So
Nice.
It has some traditional tarot cards in this deck. It's a really whimsical, fun deck. It's got your Ten of Swords, it's got your cups and all that stuff, but it also has some things like these little fairy tales, like the Fairy Godmother or Peter Pan or Aladdin's Tale, whatever. It's a really neat deck, very colorful. On the bottom here, it has, you could see, it's got the pumpkin carriage. Like, I guess Cinderella's maybe is her pumpkin, the carriage guy. Up, and there's a castle in the clouds. No. So here we go. The Fairy Godmother. This is a long reading. I might skip a paragraph or 7. But let me take you for a little, since we're only doing 4 today. It's story time, folks. So this is Shadow. What you don't know about the Fairy Godmother, or your Fairy Godmother, or whatever comes up. What the High Priestess was to the traditional tarot, the Fairy Godmother is to inner child cards. While not the main character in the original Grimm brothers, Cinderella, the Fairy Godmother has played a big part in shaping our inner awareness of magical helpers due to the Walt Disney adaptation of the story. In several folk ballads, the fairy queen is addressed as Queen of Heaven. Welsh fairies were known as the Mothers or the Mother's Blessing. Peasants called the fairies godmothers or good ladies. They claimed a fairy could transform a human into an animal or stone and back again. In Cinderella, this is the kind of enchantment that took place. The animals were turned into human helpers until the enchantment spell broke at midnight in the original Cinderella. The hazelnut tree, which bloomed from a branch on Cinderella's true mother's grave, is the reborn mother or magical helper to Cinderella. The legend of the hazel branch, according to the brothers Grimm, tells how the mother of God goes to look for strawberries in the woods to feed the Christ child. As she bends down, a viper springs out of the grass. The mother of God flees to the hazelnut tree and hides behind it. The viper creeps away. Since then, hazelnut branches have been a protection against dangerous creatures. I did not know that. The hazelnut tree stands for the most basic life force that cannot be destroyed. This is the force of protection that can be planted and rooted in every human soul. We have our High Priestess or Fairy Godmother within us. Okay. Where we honor her is in the deepest places of our psyche. She grows into our wisdom as we gain faith in the spirit of our eternal and undeniable protection in the universe. In the ancient tarot, the High Priestess is the mystery teacher, the Pappas, who holds the key to the gates of our inner sanctuary, our innate wisdom, intuition, and prayerful reverence for all life. In ancient Egypt, she was known as Isis and was connected strongly with the rhythms and cycles of the moon. The Fairy Godmother is an enchantress, a holy sacred mother of the ancient mysteries. She ushers in what we think we do not know or cannot have or dare not express. She offers our innate wisdom to believe in, be it miracles or magic or our divine intelligence. She offers us gifts of that spirit, the gifts of inner guidance and universal love. When this card appears in your reading, your higher mind knows the answer. Listen to your intuition. Cultivate your faith. The number 2 is a balance between the spiritual and physical realms. It is also a balance between the inward way and the external path. 2 is an emotional number and deeply sensitive. 2 prominent fairy godmothers in The Wizard of Oz and Cinderella come in times of need, times of crisis. The fairy godmother reminds you the journey ahead and the need to persevere to accomplish soul work.
Mm.
Sorry, I read it all. I had to. And you can see on the top is that number 2. I didn't point that out earlier. Roman numeral 2. Ray, I got to take a breath here. What do you think?
Well, to me, in the very beginning, it was screaming the divine feminine that's being suppressed in the shadow, and getting in touch with that part of yourself, your intuition and your all those aspects of divine feminine that maybe is being bulldozed or suppressed. And you take some time to listen to that voice of the intuition, and maybe compassion, and just connect with that. Maybe take some time out and through meditation, maybe take some time in nature, and maybe in silence and listen to that inner voice, that voice that wants to guide you. Maybe you're even too much more in your intellect, too much in your head and not enough in your heart. So that's what I got out of it.
Connect with that universal love, as it says, and be open to magic, and as it said, maybe miracles, enchantment, and that side of you that a lot of times we suppress, deny, disown, whatever. And a lot of us don't know that we have an inner fairy godmother within us, especially as men. We're like, I don't have a freaking god fairy anything inside of me. Well, that's right. It's something that you haven't allowed, or you haven't been nurtured into knowing that it's there, and you have the capability to tap into that power and that aspect of yourself. Should you allow it, should you love it to come forth and connect with it. But the divine masculine, the divine feminine is in all of us. And if you don't know much about that, you can Google that shit. You can look it up, learn about divine masculine, divine feminine, and what a healthy expression of both of those spirits that dwell within us are. And if you don't know, you don't know. You've got a fairy godmother inside of you, whether you like it or not. Maybe it's time to let her out and let her cast some spells and play and make some things come to life. That's what I get from that. Moving on.
It'll bring better balance,
Yes.
Because and that. So you want that balance, you want that alignment between the two energies. And right now, maybe you're off balance in one area of your life, but you're not seeing it. You're relying on, divine masculine traits of aggression, maybe, and just pushing forward, which sometimes you might need a more passive approach in something.
Well spoken as always, Bodhi Ray. Hey. All right, what are we moving on to?
So this one's going to be the general energy.
All right.
Wherever you want it to be.
Right. You can just
the question where you want it, and then we'll provide the answer.
Right. So you can just allow Ray and I to pull a generalized reading for you. Like, all right, I need a message, Bodhi Ray. Choose Ray. Or I need a message, John with a J. Choose me. And we'll just share what the cards say. Or
it could be for both. You don't have to pick one or the other. You
there we
go.
go.
If you have two questions, you could use, whatever you want. We're here for you.
Or this is why it's always open, folks. It's not we're doing this reading for this. Maybe sometimes we're specific, but still, you don't have to take our words as concrete, like that's what it's going to be. You can choose Bodhi Ray as generalized present reading, and you can choose John with a J as a future message if you want. This is general. If you want to do it that way, say, you know what, I want a reading for today, and then you could be like, all right, I'm going to pick John's reading for what my future has to hold, because it's general. It's a general reading. Yeah. So
or like the rest of 2021 or whatever.
Right. Choose your own adventure. Yes. The rest of 2021 or next year, or tell me about 5 years from now, whatever you want.
Yeah. Where will I be 5 years from now? What would I be dealing with?
You're going to be on a Bodhi Bros retreat in Hawaii. That's where you're going to be.
I'm going with the Ganesha deck.
Bum, bum, bum. I'm going with my favorite, the medicine cards.
That is your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah. This was the deck that I used on the lost episode of the Bodhi Bros that has not been published yet. Yes, so I'm bringing it back because that was a good reading.
Here's what the card looks like, the back of the cards.
Oh yeah, and here's what mine looks like. And I told you, be ready for the lightning. I'll bring the thunder to the party. Here's the lightning. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Oh shit, Ray's already in it. Generalized reading for the collective. I'm just gonna give you all a little teaser. I love the card that I just picked. Love.
I do too.
Yeah, yeah. Is yours better than mine? I bet it's not. Mine is like so much more awesome than yours is.
This one's like so enlightened.
Really?
Chakras are blowing up.
Oh wow, that's interesting because mine is the Queen of Enlightenment. Boom! Sits on the throne of all enlightenment. No, I'm just kidding. It's. I think we got two good cards here, folks. So mine's better. Ray, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I have number 25. It's called Be Candid. And that's a beautiful picture of Ganesha there.
It's a really
candid
explosion, man.
So be candid. It's essential to express your truth even at the risk of standing out. The situation at hand is asking you to express your thoughts. In the past, you have tried to maintain peace by staying quiet or swallowing your words. Have faith that open and honest communication can bring resolution to the situation. If you're not sure where you stand, ask. Since this card is about communication, it may indicate someone's words have created a moment of clarity. Be willing to communicate your concerns clearly. Remember to be open to others' views or arguments. Let your emotions flow without trying to block them while looking at decisions and solutions. Ganesha prompts you to be wary of coming across as rough or uncaring when you communicate your concerns and ideas to others. Before you express yourself, take a deep breath and think about what you're going to say. Convey your thoughts in an understandable, brief, and well thought out manner. Teal represents the throat chakra, which represents both speaking and listening. The throat chakra is the gateway for the higher spiritual realms. When your throat chakra is activated and balanced, there is a diminished chance of miscommunication and misunderstandings. You are
shiitake mushrooms. Ray, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We lost Ray. Right in the middle. Can't hear you. We can't hear you. So we're going to rewind.
All right.
All right, he's back. All right, so maybe take it back 2 sentences. I think that was the timing.
Should I start with teal?
Yeah. Teal's good. That's a good restart.
Okay, teal represents the throat chakra, which represents both speaking and listening. The throat chakra is the gateway for the higher spiritual realms. When your throat chakra is activated and balanced, there is a diminished chance of miscommunication and misunderstandings. You are able to express yourself as a spiritual being. You are a good communicator, speaking honestly from the heart, as well as being a good listener. You are able to ask for what you want and what you need from others. You are able to express yourself individually and creatively. Your relationships are based on truthful communication and true intimacy. This card invites you to create emotional balance and stability in your life.
All right, so Ray froze up again. Ray. Oh yeah, we can hear you. All right, you're there. All right, good. All right, you were right. That's a pretty badass card. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's good. So speak your truth. And also, it says think about how you're gonna present your truth, how you think before you speak.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes we have to let it kind of come through the heart first.
Yes, because we
instead
want
of coming straight from the ego.
Right, because we want to be relentless in sharing our truth. We want to be, and this came up in the Lost episode as well. We want to be, 5 agreements, used to be 4, now it's 5, Don Miguel Ruiz. We want to be impeccable with our word, right? And so in doing so, though, don't be a dick, don't be a bunghole. Like, there's a way to share your truth, and even those piercing truths or whatever. But like Ray said, take a moment, allow it to come from the heart. And even the harsh messages that way, when you let it marinate or whatever, can come across a lot more loving, in those really tough interactions with people, or those difficult to deliver messages don't have to be like, man, that person's such an ass, man. Like, truths are difficult to swallow for some people sometimes, but they can be delivered in a really compassionate way if you take
sometimes,
if you take the time.
Yeah, or sometimes it's not that so much you're afraid of, sometimes it's hard to speak those truths because you're afraid of looking like a dick. When it's not really the truth, it's because you're afraid of someone rejecting you.
It's a really good
Or
point.
if you're afraid to speak your truth, that person's not going to accept you. You don't want to stand out.
Yep.
That fear of rejection. So it's like, sometimes it's like, like you said, come to the heart. So you don't want to be a dick. You don't want to be a jerk. But sometimes you kind of have to speak your truth, and sometimes you gotta let it fly, and you have to say, sometimes you have to say those harsh words instead of keeping it in, because maybe you're afraid of hurting someone's feelings, or you're afraid of hurting somebody, but you're really just hurting yourself by not really being
Right.
authentic.
Yep. I agree. It's very, very well said.
This can be applied, everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Relationship,
Yeah.
career, anything.
This is a
Family,
great. Yep.
children, just anything.
Any question you asked, anything, like Ray just said, this is a perfect card for that. So general incoming energy, whether you asked about the present, the future, career, love, any relation, anything that you could have asked, this is the perfect card, because come from here. Let it integrate and flow from the green to the blue, baby, green to the blue. Let it just let it come, let it flow, and
Right.
and do it in a loving way. And yes, there are some hard things that you have to share with people, but ultimately they're going to respect you and love you for it, because you're not lying to them anymore. I think you do more damage by stringing people along, or relationships along, whether it be even professionally in your career. Ray can't hear me, but I'm sure you guys can. um, and just being as authentic as you possibly can, as we all strive to be more and more authentic. It's a battle, it's tough, I know. um, but just getting yourself there, and then when you are being able to share that with all those around you. And it's tough, it is difficult, because we're brought up, a lot of us, in a culture or in a way, with our parents, with our families, in school. Like, sometimes you had to lie to survive, man. You had to lie
Right.
to not get your butt beat, or whatever the case may be. But as adults, as folks on the path, to a greater spiritual health and wellness, and global love, if you will, man, we've got to shoot from here. We have to, in order for us to grow individually and collectively. You got to fire that teal or that turquoise blue, man, as often as possible. I love the card, Ray.
Teal was the one that brought us together.
It's true. It's true. Yes.
Started the Bodhi Bros.
Teal. Shout out to Teal. Thank you, Teal, for bringing the Bodhi Bros / Rhino Brothers together. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you. And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for another person in my life, who I actually call my little hummingbird. Boom! Number 44.
Nice.
Double fours in the house. It's a beautiful card. This is a great, great deck. Find this deck. It comes with this amazing book, hardcover book.
Nice book.
Yeah, man, it's thick. So, North American totems, medicine, messages, etc., etc. Really great introduction on different ways to do different card spreads and stuff. This card came up upright today. It did not come in reverse. It came up like this. And
Are there other different readings for if it's reversed?
Yep. There's the regular reading, and then the contrary. Hummingbird has a long story, as you see here. There's like front and back, so I'm not going to read all this, but the beginning part is really neat. It comes from ancient tellings um, that have been preserved for a long period of time, and it's really beautiful prose, if you will. I mean, it's just great stories here. But I'm going to skip the story part for time's sake and get right into the meat of it. This is Hummingbird, number 44. Because of their magical qualities, hummingbird feathers have been used for a millennium in making of love charms. It is said that hummingbird conjures love as no other medicine does, and that hummingbird feathers open the heart. Without an open and loving heart, you can never taste the nectar and pure bliss of life. To brother and sister hummingbird, life is a wonderland of delight, darting from one beautiful flower to another, tasting the essences and radiating the colors. If hummingbird is your personal medicine, you love life and its joys. Your presence brings joy to others. You join people together in relationships which bring out the best in them. You know instinctively where beauty abides, and near or far, your journey to your ideal. You move comfortably within a beautiful environment and help others taste the succulent nectar of life. Hummingbird holds the bow and beauty, which is delicately inlaid with gold and silver flowers, pearls, and precious jewels. Hummingbird disdains ugliness or harshness and quickly flies away from discord or disharmony. If Hummingbird has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgmental attitude and relax. Hummingbird will no doubt give you a flash of the spirit, darting here, there, and everywhere. Get ready for a strange new burst of energy, which may send your senses reeling. Hummingbird hears celestial music and is in harmony with it. Hummingbird may invite you to an art museum or a concert. Hummingbird energetically embraces the highest aesthetics. Never be coarse in front of Hummingbird, for this is a fragile medicine which may have no understanding of worldly affairs. Beauty is the target, and Hummingbird's mission is to spread joy or to be destroyed. Hummingbird quickly dies if caged, caught, or imprisoned. Follow Sister Hummingbird, and you will soon be filled with paroxysms of joy and experience a renewal of the magic of living.
Wow. I don't think you could really find a better reading than that one.
Boom! Boom, boom, boom! I told you it was a good one, man. Yours is great too, though. I mean, I think together they just, I mean, they go.
Yeah, I feel like my card will lead to your card.
Yeah, and look, the blue,
Yeah, there it is.
the lightning. Share it and be in joy, and understand the delicacy of life and how quickly joy. I mean, life is hard. People say it all the time. Why is my life so hard, so hard, so hard? And those moments of joy may seem so quick, like the hummingbird, right? But relish those moments. Understand the delicacy of of that moment of joy, and be there, be present. You know, if you're holding a baby, or you know your partner comes home from work through the front door, and your eyes meet, like just cherish that moment like you're home, and just really just, you know, let's relish the nectar of that those few seconds,
Yeah.
and know that hummingbird will be gone soon,
And I think too, what I got out of that too is, don't try to hold on to the moment. Just experience the moment and let the moment flow. A
yes,
lot of times when we try to we get a great moment, we try to like cling to it, we try to hold on to it, or we try to judge it, and we try to kind of like just be,
yes, because
just be.
think about a hummingbird anytime you've seen one, man, and that if you get that rare occasion where you spot one, it's not long that you're watching, unless you have an abundance of hummingbirds around, and good for you. I mean, kudos for that experience in your life. And some people do, they have hummingbirds all around them. But for those of us that rarely ever see hummingbirds, there are people that have never seen them. Man, they are so fast, and you
Hmm.
see them and it makes you tickled because it's a rare event, and then it's gone. But like Ray said, just you're not judging it. You're not grabbing your iPhone and going, man, I need to record this, or like I need, or wow, what does the hummingbird do? Just quiet the mind and be with the hummingbird, connect with the hummingbird, and be amazed. They stay longer when you do that too. Um, I've come to find in my stumblings upon hummingbirds, just like just like letting everything go and being there with them. I think because they sense your energy too. They pick up on
Yeah,
those
definitely.
whether you're nervous or you're like excited. And not to say don't get excited because you're seeing a hummingbird, but if you just allow that moment to be, um, knowing that there will be other moments and they will come back to you. And I think that's it too. Like there's other joys to be had, and
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why we try to hold on to those moments and we kind of grasp at those moments because we're afraid of losing that. We're afraid of some kind of future event that's going to happen that we're going to run out of joy. So we got to hold on to
yeah.
this moment and try to capture it somehow and cling to it. I think that's where like faith comes along.
Mm.
Faith is knowing that, okay, I'm enjoying this moment. Whatever happens the next moment, be fine. I know I'll experience joy again. Joy will come back. The hummingbird will come back again as long as I'm open in the moment and allowing and accepting.
Absolutely. I'm going to
Yeah.
enjoy the hell out of my sandwich after this podcast is over. And I'm going to sit. I'm not going to have the TV on or anything. I'm not going to do the podcast stuff. I am just
What kind
going
of
to.
sandwich?
I haven't decided yet, but I have some. It'll be a veggie sandwich of sorts. But I have some nice accoutrements, some hummus, some bread and butter pickles, some sauerkraut. I might go crazy with some. It'll be bizarre, but it'll be delicious.
That sounds
And
good.
yeah, yeah, I love sandwiches, man. I think I'm just gonna sit with that sandwich and be like, this is not my last sandwich, and if it is, this is a joyous event. Every bite, just be mindful of every just taste and flavor and texture, and just be with that sandwich. I'm gonna go make love to a sandwich soon. Um, so yeah, anything else to add to that portion of our reading, Bodhi Ray? No.
I think that one was very just clear cut. I mean, it was pretty much right on point there. Joy
I love that deck.
enjoying the moment and taking in the beauty and allowing it and not being judgmental, not trying to cling to anything and being free, being
Free.
free in the
Do what I want any old time. All right. That makes me also think of the song by Tom Petty, "Cause I'm free, free falling." I'm not a singer. Okay. So sometimes it depends on how loose I am. All right. So this was season 3, episode 4 of the Bodhi Bros. It'll be coming up on YouTube. It will be posted on Anchor and Spotify and all those podcasting platforms. It'll also be on our Facebook page under the Bodhi Bros. It'll be on Instagram. It'll be everywhere. So thanks for joining us once again. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to continue this amazing adventure together. Ray and I look forward every week to spending time with each other and with all of you out there. We don't know who you are yet. We don't really know our audience. We know a few people out there. So connect with us, man. Send us messages. Let us know what you thought of episodes. If you have ideas for future episodes, cards, decks, whatever. We're all things Bodhi Bros. If you look at some of our videos of the past, we've talked about lots of things and have had a few different type of formats. So we're not always going to pull cards. We're just doing it for now because it's fun and we really love it. And but we're open to doing another interview. If you have someone out there that you want us to interview or try to contact and get on the show, let us know. Ray, anything else?
I think you said it all, man. Thank you very much for everyone listening and everyone watching. Namaste.
We'll see you next time, folks. Until then, I'm John with a J.
Bodhi Ray.
And we'll see
Yeah.
you. All right.
Still recording.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still recording. Look at that. All right. Take 2. Hold on. Let's see here. Why is it still recording? Let's see here. Okay. We'll see you next time. I'm John with a J. We started off rough and we're ending rough. We'll see ya.